everyone, how you doing today? It's me, David, coming to you from the Beatles Corner. We are collecting the Beatles 101. And if you are a regular viewer of my channel, you know that I not only enjoy the Beatles, I enjoy collecting different pressings of Beatles albums from around the world. Not just stuff from the USA or the UK, but I enjoy listening to, like I said, different pressings from different countries. Which leads me to this video. Back, and if you've watched and several of my videos, some of my videos, you'll know back in the 80s, I had a girlfriend, believe it or not. Had a girlfriend. I'm not wasn't always the suave and debonair guy you see before me. I was a little bit of a nerdy geek, and anyway, so her dad was from Belgium, so every summer for summer vacation, they would go back to Belgium for a few weeks, a month. It seemed like an eternity to me at the time. And she would bring back to me not only a box of Belgian chocolates, but also Beatles albums that we could not really get here in the United States. At the time, early to mid 80s, we only had wide access to the American Capitol Beatles albums. If you went to a specialty record store or a chain store, you might on occasion find an import album, which was usually pressed in the UK, or maybe some stuff pressed in Holland, like Beatles' Greatest and whatnot. But anyway, let's cut to the chase, all right? So two of the albums I still have. These two. This was Beatles for Sale, obviously, and Help. Both of these were pressed or made in what's called the EEC. Now, a couple of the albums she brought back were pressed in the United Kingdom. A couple of them were pressed in Holland. Made in Holland, says so on the rim text. But, what exactly is the EEC? That's been something that has plagued me for years. And I tried doing research on different, like the Steve Hoffman message boards. People seem confused as far as what EEC was. And I'm like, how am I going to find the answer? Duh, I've got a YouTube channel. I can do thorough research and share that research with you in case you have any EEC pressed Beatles albums. First off, what was the EEC? Well, it stood for European Economic Community. And it ran from 1957 to 1993. The member countries were Belgium, France, West Germany, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, or Holland. You had Denmark, Ireland, the UK, and Greece, which encompasses a time period I'm concerned with. But then in 1986, Portugal and Spain had joined for the last few years of its existence. Interestingly, and I marked off, I think most of these countries, if not most of them, had EMI pressing plants. So made in the EEC, basically, what I'm going off of first is these records could have been pressed anywhere at any of those countries and marked made in EEC. But thanks to my diligent research and the folks at the Belgian Beatles site.com, I had asked of them, because they're in Belgium and I have Beatles albums from Belgium with a Holland catalog number, which starts with the prefix 1A on these 1980s pressings. What to look out for. So let's take a close-up look at this Help album that I have, and I will share with you a clue. So let's take a look. All right, well, here is a close-up of my made in the EEC
There it is, EEC Help Album label. And here's the key, is that STMRA is basically the country code or plant code where this was pressed. What was throwing me is that it looks like on the rim it's German, so I always thought this was a German press, but I'll let you know what other codes to look out for so you know if you have one of these albums where it was made at.
So there you go. So I was told that the majority of those made in EEC albums were indeed done in Germany, German press albums. It just so happens that my Beatles for Sale and Help albums were actually pressed in Holland or the Netherlands. That's the STREMA that you saw on that record label. Now, if you have a made in EEC Beatles album, look in that area or look on the label for the following codes. So this is what I have so far. There might be some others, but these seem to be the common ones. So if it was pressed in Belgium, that code would be SAB, like boy, AM. France is SACAM. Germany was GEMA. Italy, B, like boy, IEM. And Holland, the Netherlands, was that STREMA that you saw on that label. UK, the stuff pressed in the UK would say it was made in the UK or Great Britain. Greece, I do have a Beatles Real Music album that was pressed in Greece on the EMI label. So I don't think those two countries would have had made in EEC that I've seen, but definitely those five countries would have that. And why they did that, not quite sure. Maybe just to streamline or kind of unify, or maybe a cost savings on labels, or to put on a generic Parlophone label. But I do seem to recall, like Germany, were they were still issuing Beatles albums on the Odeon label and the Apple label at that time. So it could have just been pressed for a certain market. In this case, maybe for like Belgium or the Netherlands, or a certain section of the world where they were doing these 1A presses and kind of consolidating everything into a couple of pressing plants for that particular area. So that 1A catalog number is for Holland, which makes sense. So there you pretty much go. Again, this has been something I was wondering about for years. Couldn't really find an answer on it. So again, light bulb moment. It's like, why don't I just try to figure it out and let you know what I found? So I have, like I said, Beatles for Sale and Help. Do you have any albums, Beatles albums, that are pressed in the EEC? If so, let me know what they are. What's the sound quality like? These two pretty much hold their own, in my opinion, with the British pressed albums. And for a close-up look at these particular albums and how they sound compared to other pressings, I have a video about Beatles for Sale, different pressing shootout, as well as for Help as well. So check those videos out and let me know what you think in the comments. So we'll leave it there. Until next time, it's me, David, coming to you from the Beatles Corner. We are collecting the Beatles 101. We'll catch you on the flip side, and thanks so much for watching.